This is when Magic Online has gone live for Magic Foundations, Magic the Gathering Foundations. I don't know what the set is called. I do know that it's given us some interesting cards to brew with. Here's our draft 1 of Leyline Axe. I also have a mono blue list posted. These builds are in the Mox field so far. Quite simply, Leyline Axe is a 0 mana, 4 mana value artifact that if it's in your opening hand, you get to put into play. It gives equipped creature +1/+1 double strike and trample. This pairs very well with Metalwork Colossus because it discounts the Colossus greatly and also gives it double strike and trample. It allows you to kill your opponent with it. Now, basically, I wanted to be more in on a colorless build. This way you could really utilize these 12 core utility lands. Sanctum of Ugin. This says whenever you cast a colorless spell, mana value 7 or greater, you can sacrifice Sanctum of Ugin, search your library for a colorless creature, put it in your hand. So, if you cast a Colossus or Companion, you get to put a Colossus into your hand, or usually a Colossus. Now, I actually had Not of This World as my other imprintable for Ugin's Labyrinth. We're playing this card mostly because it's another imprintable card for Ugin's Labyrinth. I ended up finding that Companion was better because there was actually like a good amount of times you wanted to go like Ugin's Labyrinth into Artifact Land Cycle on turn 1. And also because it triggers your Sanctum of Ugin to get your Colossus. Not of This World is a protection spell. You could maybe still play some of the 75, but I decided to play the Companions instead after being kind of hyped for that one. This is also probably going to be the best Serum Powder deck in Modern's history. Now, there's never really been a great Serum Powder deck, but actually, maybe did Serum Powder top 8 the PT with Eye of Ugin and Eldrazi? It might have, but this is not only is this a deck that's trying to mulligan very aggressively for a really explosive hand, but this is also a 3 mana rock in your Metalwork Colossus deck, and so like just the ability to cast this and discount your Colossus is pretty valuable. We're also playing a lot of the Chiss-Goria. I'm probably gonna. We need a funny name for these cards, but the Tooth of the Scale. They're both effectively just 3 mana affinity cards that are just an artifact that it costs mana value 3, put 0 to put into play. So this is going to help you really discount your Metalwork Colossus, and then to some extent your companions. Grow your Urza Saga tokens. I think that these are better in the blue build that I have. And the blue build might be better. The blue build is playing Simulacrum Synthesizer. It's playing Kappa Cannoneer. It's playing a bunch of Talismans. It's not playing Lightning Greaves. I'm not sure. I think I want to trade in one league with both of these today. We're just going to start with the colorless today. But these are maybe a bit better in this build because they also trigger your Simulacrum Synthesizers. Okay, let's keep this with the Gemstone Caverns on the draw. We have the ring to go with the key. I think we can imprint the scale. Drawing an imprintable for the Labyrinth would be really nice. Jawi Gaming with the 5 months. Thank you, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. My opponent has played Averting Catacombs. I wonder if this is the silly Cauldron deck. They do play Halfling. Right, we have another Tooth. Gonna cast a Grist. Alright, Grist deployed. Why silly? We talked about this yesterday. I genuinely don't understand this deck. It is kind of the most absurd deck I've ever seen. Or maybe not the most absurd deck I've ever seen, but like in the context that this deck has been created. In this very difficult to brew with format where there's a ton of fast combo decks that this deck has no game against. Boros Energy, which is like way more efficient than this deck. This deck seems to prey on exactly Dimir Ring, with, by my estimation, seemingly no game in any other matchup. Which, you know, more power to them, I guess. But this is why I think it's silly. I kind of think this Dimir deck is good against Dimir, and maybe can be Control. I don't know. Can it win any other matchups? I don't know. Chris is kind of horrible right now for us. Really? I just feel like, I mean, it got an extra insect there. I don't know. They have cards. They have Cauldron Haywire Might. Are they annoyingly good against me in this spot? Yes. Now that they milled their Haywire Might and are cauldroning me. But, you know, I don't know. I just really genuinely don't understand this one. But it won a challenge. I know it won a challenge. Listen, I'm happy for them. I hope they win all the challenges. I do not understand this deck at all. And now with the 60 months, thank you. Welcome back. So annoying that they milled the might there. Okay, so despite them being able to might all my stuff, we can at the very least draw 3 cards off this ring because we have the Manifold Key. I'm being ironic. I see. I guess we could do that again next turn. And then I guess we can't put this into our hand. Play both Teeth, play Ring, and play the Colossus, right? I guess we can. Okay, we can, but we can't draw 2 extra cards. But then we could potentially just play the Sanctum of Ugin and double Colossus next turn, and then we can make at least one of them unblockable. Yeah, something play patterns. You know, they probably have a million disenchants in their deck, so maybe this is a bad matchup. So they're legend ruling Grist so that they can, when they cauldron the Grist here, they can make a token and Haywire might be. Hey, Bada. And then they, again, remember to get the ring there. This companion's a pretty interesting draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts potentially. I'm just kind of thinking to myself, do I draw 2 extra cards off the ring? So let's just go ahead and see what these give us. These give us a Greaves. So I could play the Greaves, and then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts in play, which would leave me 1 mana short of Sojourner's Companion. Sack this, go off. I think I'm just gonna draw 2 more cards. It's not like my Colossuses are just gonna be so insane deployed on this board. In fact, it could be good for me to try to like haste multiple copies of them, which looks like I can probably do next turn. I guess I can cast this one this turn. I can actually cast 2. Probably should do that. Just wish I had 1 more mana so I could wish I had 1 more mana so that I could at least haste one of them. And they're going to kill one with Grist, but I can potentially just buy it back by sacking the ring, depending on how they sequence things. Wooden Puddle 44 months. I know it's past my bedtime. I know. Does the new Leyline Axe enable Crabomination a ton or what? Well, not a ton. It's like a turn 3 play or potentially turn 2 off Phyrexian Tower, but it does help Crabomination. We might try that. I think that. What else are we gonna do? Companion was free. Companion was... Oh, I have a Jegantha. We could play Jegantha or we could play Umori. Jegantha's a bit easier to cast. If that's what we're talking about here. So, kind of like I suspected, they do this. Now they're holding priority. No, that's to play around the ability. I see. Well, fair enough. Put the companion in my hand. Well, I don't think there's a single point in this game where I had 3 mana laying around to do that. Let me know, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't know if I want to unblockable the Metalwork Colossus to kill Grist. Drawing Saga is a pretty interesting pickup. A lot of things going on here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts in play. If I cast both Lightning Greaves here, 1, 2. If I cast 1 Lightning Greaves, yeah, okay. I'm not casting 2. I'm going to be putting this into my hand. So, or sorry, I guess if I cast 2, I'm doing it off the land I play. So let's return this. Cast this. Okay, this costs 2. Okay, so I guess this is just a lot simpler than I'm making it out to be, huh? Although maybe I should have played the Treasure Vault so I could have just sacked the Treasure Vault too. I don't know. Oh my gosh. No, sorry. I messed this up too. It's past my bedtime. I meant to play the second Lightning Greaves, cast the companion for 0, and also haste this companion. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong there. Oopsie doopsie. Now, no, we can't pump this Colossus. Maybe I should have pumped it also ahead of time. Always going to make some mistakes. First time playing a deck. Yeah, so I totally meant to just play the other Greaves, and then I like thought about a different line, and then I just didn't take the different line. We'll still play this out. I guess I could cast this Colossus if I sacked this companion. It doesn't seem like there's much reason to do that, right? Because I could just haste this Colossus next turn, so putting into play this turn doesn't matter much. No way he just called it a companion after all this time. Sojourner's companion? What are we talking about? Okay, so they're targeting the Colossus here. I'm going to sacrifice this, and I think the Greaves? I have another Greaves in hand. Why am I using my teeth for damage? Okay, so this one I didn't mess up. This is something I didn't mess up. The one that they did not block had Lightning Greaves on it. Lightning Greaves gives the equipped creature Shroud, which means that I could not target it with my tooth, and then they chump block the other one. So that I believe that was the one mistake I did not make. This round was realizing I could not activate the tooth. Okay, so played awfully. Won, despite my opponent milling over the nutty Haywire Mite. They have the Seiju in their deck, so I'm gonna leave this mountain and I'm gonna trim the Treasure Vault. And then I think I want a Needle for Cauldron / Might. Maybe trim a Tooth. You could have cast Affinity 7 last turn, but misunderstood Companion as meaning Jegantha. I see. Well, is this my fault? Or Chatter's fault? I guess you guys have to tap really fast to keep up with all my misplays, huh? Maybe I'll trim the Boots. Let's try that. Flute 2. Yeah, I could also bring in the Flutes. They name Grist. I don't want to name Saga. They name Grist Cauldron mostly. Their deck in Haywire Mite. Their decks are really built around those cards. Okay, let's trim 2 scales. Or 3 scales. Is that too many? I don't know how many scales is right. Obviously, first time playing the deck. Let's try this. Isn't it better to side out scale? Additional point of power. Yeah, I meant scale. Again, I'm not used to these cards. I kind of, for some reason, thought they were both Tooth instead of both weird last name. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Okay, we have a Leyline Axe. This time, we've put it into play. A big change from the last. So my Colossus is going to cost 7 mana right now. Then it'll cost 5 after the Mind Stone. If we can find a Scale or a Tooth, it's going to be coming down pretty quick. It's an interesting pickup. I remember back in the day, I used to be kind of enamored with Urza Saga plus Lightning Greaves. You go Saga plus Greaves on turn 2, make a token attack with a token on turn 3. Deck list seems to be mono white scepter control. That's not what happens when I open the deck list. We can assess some more though. Play Mind Stone, so if I draw Ring, I can cast Ring. I don't know if is it the extension that's not working? Okay, the extension is not right. I don't think I must not have clicked save. Sorry, I meant to put all the decks in there. So they have a Beseiju. They Beseiju my Saga, so I'm glad we kept this mounted in. I was kind of thinking that they would like Haywire Mite the Saga. Maybe they're going to Haywire Mite my Axe. Why Mountain over Island? We have a Jegantha, and we have no blue cards. Okay, so they Malevolent Rumble. They see another Haywire Mite, a Grist, a Fulminator, and a Bowmaster. They choose the second copy of Haywire Mite. If they have another green, they could activate both here. They do go after the Axe. Instead of my land. That's something. Although they may still go after the land. Why didn't I play the Greaves? I didn't have this mounted in play last turn. My opponent Beseju'd me on my instep. I'm starting to get the better of you guys. Okay, so I would have been able to play both Colossi here had my opponent not mighted me. As it stands with this Tooth, my Colossuses are going to cost 4. I don't have that much. So I'm going to play this Saga kind of, I guess, mostly as bait for that second Haywire Might. If they go Haywire Might, target the Saga, which I think that they're pretty likely to do. I can go Tooth, 4 mana Colossus, haste the Colossus, attack for 10. He besage you beyond combat. I thought it was instep. I should have cast the Greaves then. Sorry about that. I don't know why he would have done it in combat, though. My thoughts on Mockingbird as a modern card. We had some success with it in the Jeskai energy deck. I thought it was... It's honestly like better testing to just just pretend it was instep too. I had a lot of success with Mockingbird and Jeskai energy. I thought that there was a chance that would be like the Mirror Breaker build of energy, and then all the energy decks started to play the ring instead, and that's just like that's how you break the mirror. So maybe one day it'll be the Mirror Breaker again if they ban the ring. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about casting 2 Metalwork Colossi on turn 4 through double Haywire Might. Oh, I guess I didn't mess up too bad because I can pump this one instead. Remember, this has Shroud, so you can't pump it, but I can just pump this and then move the Greaves over. This deck can make good use of Synthesizer. I have another build with Synthesizer. I want to play both first. This deck and then that one. A Bowmaster, maybe? They should block and then cast. Another mistake. We could also haste Jegantha in 2 turns. Boo, everyone cried out in unison. Okay, so they have protection for this turn. Just trying to think about Jegantha in hand versus and Mindstone versus Crack Mindstone. I think I want to crack the Mindstone. We have so many flutes and stuff. Although this also triggers this. I think that's okay. Illusions with the 42 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Can you wish my daughter Peyton good luck? We're about to have her softball game. Good luck, Peyton. Have a good softball game. Sorry for swearing all the time. Good luck. All right. Jegantha in the hand. Pass the turn. Yeah, that's what it's Powder being like an actually like I just drew Powder to let me cast both Colossus this turn. The fact that it can be a good draw and it can be just good as a card to cast in this deck, and also works really well with this mulligan super aggressively strategy, is what has me very excited. Now in the blue build, I'm not playing Powder. Or am I playing Powder? Yeah, no, I know I was at one point. Yeah, no Powder in the blue build. The idea kind of behind no Powder is that you have a bit more of a how should I put this? A bit more of a consistency in your draws, where you have Kappa Cannoneer, Synthesizer as like backup plans, and then the Tooths also like help power out the Cannoneer, to help the Synthesizer. So you're not quite as all in. So you don't need Serum Powder as much. We'll see. Also not playing Artifact Lands, so playing Mirror Enforcer over Sojourner's Companion, and you can sometimes prototype it off of your Red Talisman. Okay, what did they get off this Rumble? They put a Besage You into their hand off the Rumble. I don't have another basic in my main deck at the moment. I have another one in the sideboard. But they don't play their land this turn. Which is interesting. Oh, baby, what a top deck. Well, we should certainly suit up here rather than throw Jegantha at our opponent. Trample is quite a good keyword here. And we could even, protect the one that has the spear on it for now. So our opponent will chump. I'm assuming. Sorry. I guess they have the Haywire Might. So I guess they can. I guess they can exile the Might and then block and then use the spawn to kill my Shadowspear. Not that we really have anything else to do. You know, Leyline Axe also gives trample, but I guess we're 1 mana shy of casting Axe and then equipping. They do see the line. They missed the line. Oh, no, sorry, they see the line. Sorry. But they're going to sack the Bowmaster. They're going to have no creatures in play to start their turn, which is nice. Oh, they got to sack the Orc army, of course. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I guess now we could say that we're probably in bad shape. No, they don't need green for the ability because Cauldron lets them use mana as if it were any color. Very confusing game. Everybody, I'm confused, y'all are confused, my opponent's confused. maybe my opponent's not that confused. So they have this Besage. Is that what's happening now? Yes, that's what's happening now. I don't have another basic. We can bring in another basic for the next game. Dude, their deck is just mono disenchants. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. I also can't really draw a card off my Mind Stone. I can just bring the Colossus back and haste it, which is nice, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to defeat this steady stream of chump blockers. I can't haste both Colossus and Jegantha, and if I haste the Colossus, they could maybe kill the thing. Cast Jegantha first. I mean, I could cast the Jegantha. They also have the Cauldron this here, so it's like this is a bit awkward. Okay, so I sack my 2 artifact lands to trigger the Colossus. My opponent responds. They activate Cauldron on the Colossus. I respond. I sack Mind Stone. I cast a Tooth. I bring these 2 back. Yeah, then I just don't get to do the thing. So instead, I'm just going to Boots over on the Jegantha and attack. They just start doing Cauldron Fulminator things, right? I mean, maybe not right now, since they kind of have to chump block a bunch, and we do still have a 10-10 in play. What do you think about Dreams of Steel and Oil over Thoughtseize? Maybe it's deck dependent. It's not deck dependent. I would never play the first copy of Dreams of Steel or Oil over the 4th copy of Thoughtseize. You can play potentially one copy over like an Inquisition, and you can potentially play it in the sideboard if you feel like against Boros, exiling Flage, just really important to the matchup, and the life gain is like really important, or like the lack of life loss. If you feel like these are just super important matchup dynamic stuff, that's okay. Okay, so do I Colossus now? I don't think I do. It's just gonna get the response. So yeah, I think you're mostly lost in the sauce if this is something you're trying to do, but I do see, I guess, some scenarios where you'd want it in the sideboard or like as the 5th copy, but not over Thoughtseize in the main ever. Okay, opponent's down to 14. We're probably going to go to game 3 soon. It's a bit odd that they didn't draw on their turn last turn, right? Or was it? It's turn to forget. Need an axe. It's going to be so tough with the Cauldron Haywire Might again. I'm glad that we have a bunch of, needle effects for the stuff for game 3. We didn't draw any of it this game, but that's, not much you can do about that. They cast a Fulminator, which seems kind of inefficient with them having a Fulminator in the yard. But then they cast a Grist. I'm gonna go ahead and go to game 3 here. I don't really see how we get out of this at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and go down on these Gemstone Caverns because we're on the play. I don't really think we need Graveyard Hate because I know it's good against Cauldron, but we just have 4 answers to Cauldron. It just seems like too much to also play a Relic. All right, let's go. So I'm gonna keep. And I think I'm going to go for the turn 1 Saga, and then the turn 2 make a Saga token. I guess it's really bad if they Thoughtseize my companion. It is better against Haywire Might, though, because I get to make a token, so I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to play the turn 1. Okay, so turn 2 Saga token. If you just go Mindstone turn 2, you still get a construct in the Thoughtseize companion world. Not on turn 2. You get it on turn 3. There's never any situation where you can make a Saga token on turn 2 without playing the Saga turn 1. And we're not going to be able to cast the Mindstone on turn 2 and then make a Saga token on turn 2 also. But you'd be able to make it on turn 3, sure. All right, there's a Might. Okay, so nice little 2-for-1 here since we get to pop this off. Now I have a Disruptor Flute in my hand. I'm a bit interested in firing it off main phase for the extra point of damage. I think instead I'm going to hold it up because I would love for my opponent to cast a Grist or cast a Cauldron, and then I could just respond with the Flute and just kind of like counterspell them effectively. You could have responded with Disruptor Flute. Was that correct? I don't know if that was correct. I feel like I just take the Saga token and let them use the Might, and then I can flute Cauldron or Grist. Can't flute that. Or I guess I could have fluted that. It's not really so bad for me though. Okay, it may be kind of comically telegraphed, but I'm gonna still hold up the flute here. Because they just have now Ring, Cauldron, or Grist. If they play any of these cards, I just get a huge tempo swing if I cast this in response. Alright, with them playing Halfling and then just passing the turn, it seems pretty likely that they're on Ring here. Now, I don't want to flute Ring right now because I could draw my own copy. Spike woke up late today. The cards didn't go live until about 45 minutes ago. You should flute the Halfling now. Flute cannot stop mana abilities, can it? Cannot. No Shadowspear. I'm going to put Jegantha into my hand and hold up Flute instead. Thanks, BO. Am I making a video for Foundations as I've done for earlier sets? Yes, it's been out for like a week now, if not 2 weeks maybe. All right. So hopefully we don't draw our own copy here. But it's nice that they spend 4 mana, I spend 2. They do still get their protection. They only have 2 cards in their hand at the moment, though. Don't have mana to Powder and then Jegantha. Looks like I am short of that. Mailing with the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. So they play a Saga of their own. Got 14 life. Getting in for like 12 if I go Powder and plus Equip. The Grist. Do you have enough Mountains for Reign of Glory? No. They play a Fulminator Mage. Not very scary at all. Okay. Yeah, not going to be cracking this Mindstone into this Bowmaster anytime soon. We could play around another Beseiju kind of well if we moved it onto the Jegantha. I don't think that they have another one. If they do, it's their last card in their hand, and we get to complain a little bit. The Hero Standard Brewing, I thought that was today. Okay, no, I've been saying this. It's okay. I know not everybody's here all the time. But the structure is that we're going to be playing the new Modern Brews on stream for this week. Untested for the first time like we usually do. And then off stream, I'm going to be trying to learn Standard. I'm going to just try to learn it over the next few days. See, do I like Standard? Do I want to play it on Magic Online? Do I want to play it on Arena? And if the answers, once I figure out the answers to those questions, I will figure out what I'm doing, I guess. But so I guess maybe should I Bowmaster? Should I have sacked this already? But I need to figure out the answers to those questions, and I need to do it before I commit to any Standard brewing on stream. So keep an eye out, but nothing is locked in at the moment. So they target the construct instead. Now, would my opponent have ever done this if their last card in hand was the last copy of Orcish Bowmaster? I don't think that they would have. I think also because we have Trample off the Jegantha, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Okay, is this a lethal tooth? This looks like this is giving me my 7th point of power. Unironically ban Jegantha. It is very dumb. I've won this game because I just happened to get Jegantha in my deck, by the way. But that aside, we are going to be winning this round. In a very fun way. Wait, no! What? It was Bowmaster? You didn't respond to me drawing a card? Why do I ever sell? It's just always celebrating too early. I guess I should have played the Mind Stone first. I just completely ruled out them having a Bowmaster, of course. So my opponent's going to 1 life point. They're probably going to be going up to 3 after they Haywire Might. So annoying. I feel like I need to... Okay, can I cast... I can cast Sojourner's Companion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can also cast a Colossus. So I think if I find Companion or Colossus, I get to put 2 Colossuses / Companions in play. That seems to be pretty nice. Okay. Manifold Key, also an awesome top deck here. Because it can make Jegantha unblockable. Cosmic Hubris, Punishment for Hubris. I guess so. I completely ruled out Beseiju and completely ruled out Bowmaster. Rightfully ruling out Bowmaster because I drew a card and they just didn't cast it, but what can you do? We hold the key here to play around a second disenchant. I guess that's not really too possible. How does my opponent at 4 minutes 50 seconds also? It does not feel like they've been playing this slow at all. Okay, so when I unblockable this Jegantha, there's nothing my opponent can do about it. So, barring a Murderous Cut as the last card, I think that we will be okay. All right, let's go. Another Jegantha gamer over here. So we can play a turn 1 Mind Stone, turn 2 Lightning Greaves. We have 7 mana value. I think we're supposed to keep this. We just have so many good top decks. If we draw a Tooth, a Serum Powder, a One Ring, even like another Lightning Greaves, especially because we have second Sanctum of Ugin, or sorry, a Sanctum of Ugin. Feeling pretty good. Yeah, Jegantha likely means the mirror. More likely the mirror than any other anything else. What? They're not playing Colossus? Make it make sense. So they play a Guide of Souls on turn 1. We draw a Shadowspear. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really much reason to not cast the spear here. Because either I spend 1 mana on it next turn, and because I spent 1 mana on it, it discounts my Colossus by 1. Or that would let me put this in my hand this turn, but I could just put this in my hand next turn, and it's kind of like I was tapping this to cast the spear next turn. Don't know if that makes sense. I guess if they go Amped Raptor into Blood Moon, but what can you do? Doesn't seem like they have an Amped Raptor. I would love for them to cast a Thoughtseize. A highlighted message from Leo Mitch says Metallic Rebuke. Metallic Rebuke is a card, of course, we considered for this archetype. I do have a blue-based build. I did kind of find that 1 mana blue spells were not something I really wanted to include, as Ugin's Labyrinth, Sanctum of Ugin, and Urza Saga are all so good in this deck. It's very hard to have 1 mana blue spells, but you can splash for higher mana value blue spells because you can play a lot of talismans. That's at least where I'm at with this thought at the moment. Okay, so 6 plus 5 is 11. You don't say. Yeah, this is very interesting to me that I've drawn a Serum Powder and it was an incredible draw. This is not a feeling I'm particularly used to. All right, so I'm casting a Metalwork Colossus. I'm sacking a Sanctum of Ugin to get another one. I'm pumping, although this is going to get chump blocked by the cat. It's turn 3. And I didn't have a Leyline Axe. What's weird is I actually was testing this deck a little bit before Leyline Axe was out to see, like, is this something we can do? And I wasn't, like, super enthused. But it's cool that, like, it still seems like we have enough density of reasonable draws. Sans Axe. Okay, I will move the Greaves over here so that my opponent can't remove this Colossus and get in with a ground creature. They may still be able to fly over us. Do you ever get time for limited anymore? Not very often, no. Usually just big tournaments. The best Serum Powder deck in Modern. That might not be saying much, but it seems to be saying something. I don't know exactly what that thing is. They have another copy of Guide of Souls, so this will be a big swingy life totals, I guess, with me gaining, like 11 life a turn with Shadowspear, and my opponent chump blocking with these cat tokens. No attacks! Cannot possibly be correct. Can it? Third Guide of Souls. Okay, so they are just gonna Galvanic Discharge me then. Wait, they're not gonna have enough energy. Are they gonna have 7? They're gonna get 3 more on their instep, up to 9. They don't have Kitty's Blessing yet. And that's not enough to kill a Colossus. Not this turn, at least. Pretty scary, though. Yeah. I think that was their plan. Okay, so let's draw a card. Oh my gosh, I'm just so bad at math. I wasn't counting the 3 from the discharge itself. It did happen though, huh? Well, so it doesn't seem like I should be... I think I should attack so that if somehow their hand is like Lightning Bolt, Bolt or something like that, then this keeps them off Kitty's Blessing. But I shouldn't bring this back, I think, until next turn either. Yeah, bedtime. I don't know. I mean, this is such a weird board state. I oftentimes get kind of confused in these games. Just quad Guide of Souls. They are going to have the Kitty's Blessing, so that's going to give them 2 cats and 8 life. Is the Mardu vs. Boros Appeal just really Bowmaster Thoughtseize? Yeah, it's not too different. Can I beat Quad Guide of Souls and an Ocelot Pride? Maybe. If they don't have any more creatures, they're not going to get any triggers next turn. Hopefully this is just Jegantha in their hand. I guess that's a creature, huh? Manifold Key, which is interesting. Okay, I cast the One Ring. Card everybody loves to hate. I can cast this key. I can't quite untap the ring this turn, but I could. Let's see. So I have 4, 5, plus 6, 11, 12, 13, 14 mana value. So I can sacrifice one of these and the Tooth to get back this Colossus, cast it, hasted attack for 20. Although more specifically, make them sacrifice 2 cats. I mean they're at 35 also. They don't even need to block. They do block with both. Should this deck be on some All Is Dust in the sideboard? Almost definitely not. That card's not very castable without Kozilek's Command or Eldrazi Temple. Any interest in trying Yawgmoth with new Wall of Roots, or is it just not needle moving? Yeah, not really that different. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think Yawg is very good at the moment. Is maybe the other thing. Boo. I think that maybe that's enough, but yeah, Yawg is just not that good either. EE would definitely be better. Do I have EEs? I think I have them in the other build, maybe. So they can put... They can put 6 counters on this, hit me for 9, which means I can't... Or it doesn't seem like I can untap my ring and draw any cards right now. I might be able to end of turn if they don't do that right, but for now it seems like I should just do this. Why is Scale Tooth better than Frogmite? I'm sure you explained, but I just joined. Metalwork Colossus only cares about non-creature artifacts. Kurbos. You would see this card a lot more if that wasn't the case. But 9 months, thank you, welcome back. Appreciate you. They could just split it. That's true. Like, effectively dealing 1 more damage, which I guess is lethal. It's kind of hard to fit for more Vault. Yeah, not really room for more colorless lands. Card's really slow. They miss lethal, no worries. We'll see. Seems hard. Especially when they just have so many more cards coming. Don't they hit for 11? Yeah, but I have the ring damage. Hit Bowmaster. Okay, we'll concede. Very tough. We had a good draw on the play, and they just quadruple Guide of Souls me so casually. I was definitely hoping to kind of run over and stomp energy. Maybe that's going to happen in the non-quad Guide of Souls games, but did not happen this game. Just think if I want like a relic for Flage. I don't think I do. Let's have Leyline Axe in an opener, huh? Brass Knuckles is a staple in the Pioneer version, just too slow for Modern. Yeah, I mean, isn't that card just like 4 mana do nothing except for enable Colossus, right? It's like, yeah, Quick Preacher does double strike, and then you get to copy it. Yeah, the card's just like way too slow for Modern, I think. Oh, that's right. They can just spread out all the counters on the guides. Ugh, what a game. So I guess I should have untapped the ring and tried to have gone land ring, huh? Not that it seemed like we could probably get out of that one. Maybe get Leyline Axe on a Shadowspear Colossus. I don't know. Okay, kind of sad to not have an imprintable for the Labyrinth here, but I'm going to click the keep button. Do I like to do 7 Eldrazi 7 business for Modern? We'll try it. A little bit early to say how much I like or dislike that card, I think. I don't know that it's going to be better than existing options, and I won't really know. It's close enough that I'm just not going to know until we cast it sometimes. Okay, turn 1 guide. Do you plan to aggressively mulligan with this deck? Yeah, I think so. I mean, this end is just to keep, I think, turn 3 ring on the play with a Saga and a Lab. But yeah, we have Serum Powder in the deck. We are going to be aggressively mulliganing. What should I go get to eat? Something healthier than you usually do. Okay, my opponent, very good at drawing Guide of Souls. An absolute pro. An absolute professional Guide of Souls drawer. We are not a very good Leyline Axe drawer so far, unfortunately. Opponent decides to not spend any energy here, which is interesting. I'm not going to make a Saga token. I'm going to get a key. We're not going to get Bowmastered. We're not going to get Bowmastered. But how could they not have it here, right? They do have it. They're only going to get me for 3 triggers here, I suppose. We're going to need to draw some Colossi. They almost... Maybe should they just main phase that? They could would have got the cat token. No Colossi. We can ring again. Draw a Colossus here, sack the Sanctum of Ugin, you know. We have some life here. Colossus. Okay, I concede. So match number 3. Tough one. Lately, they've been printing some ley lines to brew with, and I have not been great at having them in my opening hand. Although here, I'm going to Serum Powder. Gets rid of 2 rings in a lab. That's okay though. I'm going to powder again. I'm going to click the mulligan button. Yeah, I'm just not good at drawing. I'm just not good at drawing Leyline Axe. I wish I was as good at drawing a Leyline Axe as our last round opponent is at drawing Guide of Souls. I'm going to keep this hand though. I'm going to keep this hand. We can make a Saga token on turn 2. This deck needs green and Ancient Stirrings. I've said this a few times. You cannot splash a 1-mana spell in this deck effectively. It is not going to happen. So probably don't expect to be able to splash a 1-mana spell in your Saga, Labyrinth, Sanctum of Ugin deck. Maybe if you're playing like 8 Talismans like we are in the blue build, but the blue seems to be giving way more than green for just Ancient Stirrings also. Ooh. Yeah, I had Enigma Jewel plus Signets in some builds. It's early, it's day 1, you know, we could figure out other ways to build this deck still. So next turn I get to Lavaspur Boots, haste my second Saga token, and then they're gonna be... I'm gonna hit for 13 next turn, I think. Oh, that's more. A boots with the spurs. I would love for them to Galvanic Discharge, and we just get to like respond with our 4 0-mana affinity cards that they could never ever expect. My one regret is I haven't seen Leyline Axe in like 70 cards or something. Is this lethal? Have the teeth just been secretly great this whole time? This is 18 damage. They're at 19, but they can't crack their fetch land. Pretty good. This deck is hilarious. This is the funniest deck I've ever played. Okay, I'm gonna cut the Shadowspear for a relic against Jeskai. Click submit. I need a Leyline Axe. Why does this deck need Colossus? Good question, good question. It's the teeth that have been secretly great this whole time. I need a Leyline Axe. I haven't seen a Leyline Axe in so many cards. I'm just like always allergic to new cards when we're testing. Okay, there's one. Hand's not keepable. His hand would be crazy with a Colossus, but maybe that's going to be a common theme. Turn 3 ring on the draw against Jeskai when they've mulliganed to 6, and I have also mulliganed to 6. I guess I'm going to click the keep button. Is there room for a couple Mystic Forges? Ask me in December. Ask me in December. So I'm glad we kept the Tooth with that top deck. Yeah, either keepable hands or Leyline Axe in the opener. Hard to have both so far. Gnarlbag with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So this is going to be 8 mana value for our Colossus. Kind of want to draw a Serum Powder. Another Tooth would be kind of the nuts so that we could just... Okay, I draw my Serum Powder, which they're never countering, I'm assuming. This deck I declare to be fun. I declare Metalwork Colossus to be dope and cool. If they verdict me, we could untap and play Ring, and then potentially buy our Colossus back, so it's not so bad. A little bit worse against Binding, I guess. Come on, 2 of them? So this gets countered, I guess. I think we should still play it. Whew. Isn't that nice? I mean, they could have 3rd Binding, I guess. Couldn't we have Ring instead of Powder? My opponent had mana available to counterspell, so I'm playing around a counterspell by not casting the Ring in that spot. Not very, very high level stuff. Okay, I'm gonna draw a card. No Binding. Let's fucking go, dude. You don't have the 3rd Leyline Binding? How do they not have a counterspell in this spot? It doesn't make any sense. What is it? I just don't know what their hand could be. I know what my hand is. Can I Axe and make a Saga token? Looks like I can't. I have Supreme Verdict, that's okay. Yeah, they get Prismatic Ending. I guess I could have Jegantha in hand, actually. Although I don't even think... I think I boarded out my mountains, so... I could only cast it up Treasure Vault. Gonna Solitude me? Sure. Only 1 Colossus left. Still have Saga tokens and companions. They have double Discharge. Jessica's not playing Discharge that much these days. Okay, they have their own ring. They tapped in a way that they couldn't... They don't have white up if they drew the 3rd Binding. Missed life point from Tooth. Ah, yes. Glad we have all the Tooth gamers out today. Do we have Witch's Oven somewhere in 75? Of course not. Or no, we don't. So I should play out one of these. And then I can haste the other post sweeper potentially. From where is that token? I'm not sure which one this is. They have 4 cards in their hand after tapping the ring again. They're a little behind on board. They're not immediately attacking, which probably means their only play isn't a sweeper or a ring. They main phase Surveil, not a sign of strength either. 3 cards left in their hand after this. Graveyard's a copy of Force of Negation. Also saving the companion, so if we draw another Sanctum of Ugin, we can get our last Colossus and throw it at our opponent. You could even like be totally happy if they counterspell it, because we just get to like bring it right back. So play Sanctum of Ugin, tap it for a mana, cast Sojourner's Companion. Again, this is why I'm playing Companion over Not of This World, is for this interaction. Okay. So I'm 1 mana short of axing and equipping. Any solitudes? Well, they're not solituding that. I would like to move to combat. Don't cryptic command me, please. Awesome. All right. We're 2-1. Okay, so we're on the draw with the Gemstone Caverns with no action. Let's mulligan. I am the worst Leyline Axe drawer in the world, but this is a turn 2 ring, so I'm going to keep. Do I want to imprint the Tooth? I think I'd rather imprint the Greaves. You're very hard to understand when you lean back. Thank you for the feedback. No Thoughtseize. Come on. All right, we'll take that. Just play another one of those. Right on time, Leyline Axe. We love to see you. Thank you for showing up. Cycles of Wraiths. So this is probably Hollow One. I mean, it could be Jund Delirium too. They do have the Thoughtseize, so this is we'll see if they patch the Thoughtseize bug during the downtime. Looks like it is Jund Delirium. Should be illegal to beat me with this deck. We'll Axe instead of Powdering. It's a bit more mana efficient. I don't think we can Colossus next turn if we draw one. Yeah, we're going to be a couple mana short. We can do it after we get the Serum Powder down. Well, they're playing Tarmogoyf. It's not exactly my list. Legal to kill me again. So there's a lot of power in play too. I think I will be putting this Companion back into my hand end of turn. Companion costs 4 mana at the moment. I have 5. Oh, I could have put Jegantha in my hand on turn 1. Huh. Okay, they heat to get Delirium and to grow all their Goyfs. This is 8 plus 5. Go down to 1. Quite a good Thoughtseize. After that first match, these games are going way quicker, which is great. Okay, game 2. I want Leyline Axe in my opening hand so bad. I also want to play 4 Relic of Progenitus in my deck post-board against them. I think I'm going to cut the Greaves for them. Kind of like the sound of that. Could maybe cut the Key, play like 1 Greaves. And let's just do this. Yeah, this deck has been very fun, despite the fact that I don't know that we've put. I think we put 1 Leyline Axe into play on turn 1. There's another game where we were supposed to, and then for some reason I didn't see the prompt. I feel like the prompt looks a little different, or maybe it's like the prompt around the silver border of Leyline Axe is like harder to see than around the colored enchantment border. Yeah, the Greaves have been really good so far, but I think in this kind of matchup you don't need them as much. We have the Boots too. Why Relics and not Ghost Vacuums instead? Aren't Ghost Vacuums? Well, you could play Ghost Vacuum, you could play 1 maybe, but the Relics being able to cycle I think is pretty important in this deck. What's the gag here? We have the gag is they just printed Leyline Axe, which greatly powers up Metalwork Colossus. We're running not very well on seeing Leyline Axe, but we're having some fun. We're winning some games too. Okay, on the play, I reveal Jegantha. Okay, we have had axe sometimes, but it's like there's just also never like a land to go with the axe. Which, you know, what can you do? Go to 5. Maybe. I think we go to 5. These like the double Colossus are just so sad here. Okay, we'll keep this one. We have what I asked for, I guess. So I'm gonna put back the mountain. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna put back a ring or the relic. I think let's put back the ring. Opponent, you have my permission to Thoughtseize me also if you like. Keep that, do Construct turn 2. There was not an Ugin's Labyrinth in the hand. There was a Sanctum of Ugin instead. If it was Ugin's Labyrinth instead of Sanctum of Ugin, we would have kept and made a Construct on turn 2. Thoughtseize me, please. It's basically an unmulligan. Intangibility, thank you for the Switch Prime. Appreciate you. Let's go! Bottom of the One Ring. It was always that simple. Yeah, confirmed, not ghosting. 0-1 Tarmogoyf. Love to see it. Hate to see it, actually. Bizarro with the 45. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. So this costs, what, like 4 right now? And then it'll cost 1 mana next turn. And then we do get to Sanctum of Ugin. We may just grab, like, more companions. Break out! Have you considered some copies of Metamorph? No suggestions for cuts. I did consider Metamorph. I don't know that it would be correct to play in this deck, but it could be an angle to go in. I do have a blue build we'll play after this. Stay tuned. My opponent is an attacker here. My construct is going to be a 4/4, so it only dies to Fatal Push. I'm gonna activate. As if I'm them, I'm playing Tarfire, Unholy Heat, Lightning Bolt before push probably. So they're letting me block. I'm gonna block the Channeler. Seems better to me than the Goyf right now. All right, that's good. So it seems like I'm going to be spending 1 mana to cast a companion instead of activating Boots. So I think I'm just going to grab a second relic. I don't, you know, what are they going to do? Then okay, so I go, yeah, I just play 2 more companions. Doesn't mean I can't equip the Leyline Axe next turn, but I mean, if this is the wrong line, I don't know if I want to take the right line. Fjork with the 45 months, thank you, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Going to game 3. Hey, Marshall. I'm going to bring in these Gemstone Caverns. I'm going to play still 1 mountain for Beseiju. We'll trim a treasure vault and then click submit. Opponent did not re-sideboard, it seems. Juicy J, always hanging out. Just wants to be loved, and I'm incapable of loving Jegantha. I'm gonna mulligan this. This one's close. We're on 6. We have a relic. We have a tooth. This hand, I think I'm gonna go to 5. I think. Let's try this one. I'm not sure if this is better than my 6-card hand. It probably isn't super far off. They have Ragavan instead of Goyf this time. That is certainly a bit worse for me. How is that 6 not a keep? It felt potentially weaker than the average 5. This is a deck that has a lot of potential for nut draws, although maybe you need a critical density. Trying to kind of understand our range of mulligans and try to understand how to pilot the deck. I don't know. I feel like I want to be mulliganing to 5 pretty aggressively. I kind of do think this hand is better than the 5, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Please yell at me if I am. Okay, I'm gonna relic you. Consider playing Waste instead of Mountain for the flavor one. Well, we have a Jegantha, and you can't get Waste off Beside You. So flavor L, I suppose. Breakout! Brick out, hopefully. It's pretty tough to play Breakout in like these decks with all the discard spells and removal spells. Kind of interesting. They hit a Nethergoyf, also known as a 2-mana 0/1 with haste. Yes, you cannot search Waste off Beside You. I don't know. I can't explain to you why that's the case. If you're looking for answers, this is not the right place. If you're looking for comfort, and for me to say that I wish you could, I do wish you could. But there are some dreams that cannot be, and there are some storms we cannot weather. They hit a Relic of Progenitus off the Ragavan. Instead, they cast a sideboard card, which is just bullshit. I'm going to cycle this Relic. I really want to find a Tooth to try to pop off. I guess that's a plan, too. Can I cast one of these? I don't think so. Yeah, cost 6. Ugh. Okay, your turn. This is all 8 damage. Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough. And they have another sideboard card, or another threat. A hasty Tarmogoyf. And a hasty Fear of Missing Out, at least without Delirium. This is going to be now 10 damage. Map out with the 33 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So they attack not with Nethergoyf, but with Tarmogoyf. They flip over a Tooth. I draw another Tooth. And we yield here. Maybe we should have kept the 6. I don't know. I feel like the 5 was better than the 6. It was an okay draw for a 5-card hand. My opponent is in the tank here on their opening hand and what they want to do with it. They've decided to keep 7. So have I. An imprintable for Labyrinth would be nice. That would be a 1 ring on turn 2. So I have a deck tech for that dog. Refund, please. Thank you. Love you. I'm not going to be doing any Loot Tree deck techs today. Thank you very much. Gloom with the 50 months. Appreciate you, homie. Good to see you in the chat. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, the end of turn, get a basic swamp. I don't know what that's about. Fair, yeah. I appreciate you understanding. Basic island. So this is Frog with potentially a Magus, or sorry, Harbinger of the Tides draw. Kind of hope they do play the Harbinger, I guess, so I can just kind of slam the ring, maybe. Basic swamp end of turn is a little unhinged. Just a little, though. Best draw is Colossus by a million years. They discard a Harbinger, so perhaps this will be unearthed into play this turn. A companion would be good too, just to like sack the Sanctum of Ugin. No such luck. I will be casting this, I suppose. Well, I'm happy this resolved. I don't know how it resolved. Just respond to the ring with Bowmasters, chat. We've been here. We've been doing this too long for y'all to be Bowmastering after the ring resolves. You're just not. You're gonna get one less counter on your token and one less damage. Is this a close 2-2, or I guess we will try again once there's another exciting new card 2-2? I don't know what this means. I'm having fun. This deck has been a blast. There's something. We're doing some powerful things. This deck is not going to be that consistent, probably. We probably have not broken Modern. But we have a blue build that might be better than this build. We're going to play that next. We have had the new cards for an hour, 40 minutes. Let's maybe not be too bored yet. You know what I mean? Let's try to have a little fun for more than an hour and 40 minutes. So my opponent is flying the frog here. Now, I do have protection from everything at the moment. My opponent may be not that familiar with frog, or maybe they're... so they're discarding. Okay, I misread. Never mind. So they're going to cast a Oculus here. Sanctum of Ugin is cool. Were there any toolbox creatures thought about trying to squeeze in? Not really. Not really. There's just like never going to be a moment I think you don't want like a Colossus or a Companion, realistically. I do think I'm going to probably draw a bunch of cards into this Bowmaster. Just maybe bad because of the whole flying situation, huh? I drew a Colossus for turns. Maybe I don't need to. Okay, so my opponent has 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to count this as 7. So this is 9 plus 7. Plus 1. I mean, I can block some. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can afford to draw any cards here. So, going to tap this, cast a Colossus, grab another Colossus. For the first time today, we equip Leyline Axe. Let's go. Achievement unlocked. This is can potentially give it unblockable with the key next turn. So basically, my opponent needs to have shoot the sheriff or sink into the stupor in their hand. Doesn't seem like they had sink the turn I cast the ring. But yeah, but I don't know if they're going to be able to beat me if they don't have either of those cards. Maybe if this is an Oculus. That might be enough. I shouldn't say that out loud, but yeah, it would be enough. Could we have searched for another Sanctum of Ugin and then use it to get a third Colossus? If you mean search for another Sanctum of Ugin by tapping the one ring, you might have noticed I didn't tap the ring. There's a reason I didn't tap it. There's an Orcish Bowmaster over there, and it makes the math pretty sketchy for me. So it seems that I calculated that it was better to just not tap the ring. This is definitely an Oculus. We're dead. We're so dead. I'm sorry. Wait, what's happening? I thought they were counting the math with the Oculus under the manifest, and then somehow this frog is no longer attacking. Double block? Well, all of this would have flying, and I have no flyers. Yeah, we are dead if this manifest is an Oculus. This is all flying. It's 17 damage. I'm 17. But I thought that this pause was them adding that up, but now they've removed these creatures from combat. Okay, they're coming back in again. It's just the frog. They discard a Delta. They discard a Fatal Push. They fly the frog. Am I going to draw a bunch of cards end of turn now? Because if my opponent does have a removal spell for this as their last card, I will need to draw another ring. So it seems like it's like weirdly correct for me to do this. Although this Greaves means I don't need to do anything else because I can cast Greaves. Wait. No, I can't. I guess I can't give something unblockable while Greaves is on it. That's the problem. Okay, so I'll draw 3 more cards. Because remember, when something has Shroud from the Greaves, you can't give it unblockable, something like the Manifold Key. We should probably ring prior to Frog Trigger. Why? The only thing that can possibly matter is my opponent... Oh, another Bowmaster? I mean, another Bowmaster, if they cast another Bowmaster, we are so happy. We win the game. Right? Maybe if they held it in response to the second ring activation, then I would die. Not a lot in the top... is that 5 cards? Okay, I tried to make Metalwork Colossus unblockable. This pause is good news, because I don't know that they were familiar with this line of text on Manifold Key. In response, they thought scour themselves. There should be exactly one copy of Shoot the Sheriff in their deck. So at the time of making this comment, we're about 97.5% to win. I'll let you know in a second if that changes. All right. Got there. So up a game against Dimir. I'm going to bring in the extra Gemstone Caverns. I'm going to cut the mountain. And then I think I'm bringing in the relics over the Greaves again. Black version with Crab Abomination. Bad idea or worst idea? I like Crab Abomination a lot. I'm open to registering that card. It would be really nice if you could do it on turn 1 with Phyrexian Tower, but you can't do it until turn 2, even with Phyrexian Tower. Probably not going to be that good of a deck. Crab Abomination is a card that I like, and I think it's very good with that one affinity black card from MH3, the one that the 2/1 flyer affinity for artifacts. If it makes your opponent discard a card on ETB, or if they have no cards, you draw a card. It's like, I think it's really good with that card. And then it's kind of okay with the 1 ring, because you can like just play ring, and then you can emerge, sack your ring after you drew 3. So there's something there too. So like maybe you could also play a Leyline Axe in a black-based build, but I don't know that you could also like really realistically have a good Metalwork Colossus plan. I mean, you could sack the teeth to your crabs too. I don't know. Flute for Frog. I don't think I like Flute for Frog very much. I would probably play the first Needle instead. This is not something that I've had like a lot of success doing, or something that I've tried to do many times. So I don't know. How do we like Kiora? I've only been streaming for an hour 47 minutes. We're on our 6th match with this deck. We have not played Kiora yet. I don't know that we're going to get to Kiora today. Probably tomorrow at this point, because I want to play another league of this one deck after again. This is a turn 2 ring. We don't have a Leyline Axe, but we have a keep here. Ace Tax, Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. How do you like the 1 ring? It's great. It's just like a Commander game. Every time I play the 1 ring, everyone cheers. They go, "Yay! The 1 ring!" Just like a Commander game where everyone cheers anytime any player casts any spell. What was the first loss to? We lost to Mardu Energy, and then we lost to Jund. And then we beat the Golgari deck that's running around with Agatha Soul Cauldron. And then we beat Jeskai Control. All right, opponent, I ban Force of Negation. Just for this turn. More like the 3 ring, am I right? Everyone laughed. Okay. So if we have 1 tooth, yeah, I guess we would need 2 teeth to cast this for free. But we could draw like 5 cards with their key next turn. They have a Bowmaster, we can respond with the key again. We literally played this exact same turn last game, right? Yeah, I went 2 teeth. Found 1 tooth. I guess we'll just go Serum Powder, Mindstone, triple Colossus. Am I gonna die? So I'm basically at 12 life points here, and they can hit me with Frog for 6, so we should be pretty safe. Thankfully, they didn't counter that. Oh, sorry, wrong. Random 3-mana artifact. I cast a Metalwork Colossus. Trigger. You know, on Commander streams, any player casts any card. Everyone's like, Life from the Loam, let's go! On Aspiring Spike streams, I'm 2-2. I'm casting 3 Metalwork Colossuses on turn 3, and the chat's like, is this a 2-2 we're abandoning this deck, or 2-2 maybe we'll give it another try deck? That's the difference between modern content and Commander content. How do we ever bridge this gap? How do we get the players who will cheer for anything? I don't know. Why won't they cheer for me? Why won't they cheer for me? Maybe I don't want the answer to that question. Fetch land, yeah. Maybe if the format wasn't so twisted. Exactly. This is the kind of attitude we need to defeat. Turn 2 ring isn't good enough. I know. What can you do?
What's up?
I'm casting Scale of Chiss-Goria, and the chat is silent. Worst player here at the 500 bits. We have one player here, huh? Okay, they forgot to give this flying. I triple block. All right, 3-2. Let's go. I will take it. That's pretty exciting. Pretty fun stuff. I'm excited for the blue build. That was the colorless build. I want to give one league to the blue build today too. So this build is not playing Serum Powder. Powder was pretty good though. Powder was pretty good.